Hello, everybody, and welcome to Kontra's second webinar. Thank you for tuning in. Today's topic is business tricks for Instagram if you want to incorporate it into your marketing strategy, whether you are a business owner or if you work at a digital agency like I do and you are looking for some ways to improve Instagram strategy for clients that you have and that want to have Instagram accounts as well as Facebook, Twitter, etc. This is the second webinar that Kontra agency is hosting. First one was last month and topic was why boost post is a waste of money. Since Instagram is currently social network that really grows with its audience and monthly active users, we thought that we should share with everyone who's interested in this topic everything that we've learned through working on Instagram for our clients and different projects. So this is a gathered experience. I'm not saying that I'm an expert, but you can learn from everything that me and my colleagues have learned. So like I said, today's topic is Instagram tips and tricks for business strategy. I'm going to share 5 tips that can help you. Some of you maybe already know about them. For some of you will be the first time that you thought of that. And if you already have any tips for me, or if you would like to ask me some questions, you can save that all for the end where we can discuss everything that I've said. Like I've said, I work at Kontra agency. My name is Paula. I am an account manager, and we are doing social media marketing, internet advertising, design and development, content marketing, and consulting and education. Obviously, the last one is the reason why we decided to hold webinars like this, and continuously we'll try to improve. So you can always leave comments and give us tips how we can improve with these webinars. Some of our clients are listed here. We've worked on various projects for them. For some of those, we've worked on digital marketing. For some of them, we worked on content marketing. And we have a lot of different experiences, so this is the reason why we are sharing our experiences through these webinars. So let's start with today's topic. Why Instagram? Why is it currently so big and so interesting to digital marketers, but also business owners? Well, I don't know how long any of you have been on Instagram, but Instagram actually exists since 2010. And me personally, I've been on Instagram since 2011. And since that time and during that period, a lot has changed on Instagram. For example, in older days, golden days, you could only post square-looking photos, and today you can post any kind of photos. So vertical, horizontal. You can even put videos. You can put boomerangs that act like gifts. You can post Insta stories that are basically featured that they've stole from Snapchat, so little stories that disappear after 24 hours. Constant growth is one of the main reasons why Instagram is so popular today, because on this graph you can see how it occurred throughout the years. The last stat is here, so available from April of this year. 700 million users are currently active on that social network. Throughout the years, you can see how it didn't boost just at one period of time. It just continuously grows. So obviously, if you can see that people are coming more and more on Instagram, that means that your target audience is probably already there or is going to be in the following weeks, months, or years. So if you're a business owner and you're trying to reach your audience, obviously you are going where your audience is, and your audience is on Instagram. Another thing is that people prefer using Facebook to stay in touch with their family and friends, but are more likely to follow brands on Instagram. That really makes sense because for me personally, for example, I use Facebook just to stay in touch with my friends, with my family, to talk to people who maybe live across the world and I don't have a lot of chances to see them. So I use Facebook to talk to them, to message them, to like their pictures on Facebook. But with Instagram, it's different. With Instagram, I don't have to follow you just because you are my cousin. On Instagram, I follow Instagram accounts that I'm interested in, such as brands, such as certain individuals like celebrities who are quite a lot on active on Instagram. I can even follow people I don't know, but I just like their pictures and I like what they post there. With that in mind, if people are more likely to follow brands on Instagram, what does that mean for you as a business owner? It basically means that you can achieve with Instagram great brand awareness. If you are someone who's currently looking for different channels or ways to get in touch with your target audience and to improve your brand awareness, Instagram is definitely a way to go. And if you're already there, but you're not satisfied with what you're achieving regarding brand awareness, then I hope these tips are going to help you to achieve it. Who is your target audience on Instagram? Let's look at these numbers. So 28% of all internet users are on Instagram, and that's quite a number since there's 7 billion people in the world. And of those 28 internet users in the world, 55% of all online adults between the ages of 18 and 29 use Instagram, and 28% of people among ages of 30 to 49. So what does that mean for you as a business owner or a digital marketer working for clients who are business owners? That means that avocado-loving millennials are exactly here. There's 55% of them on Instagram. And most business owners are trying really hard to figure out what millennials want. Well, millennials want Instagram. They want to be active on Instagram. They want brands to be active on Instagram. And also, 30 to 48 is another and second biggest age group active on Instagram, which makes sense since these are the generations who grew up using technology and are most likely to adapt to new media such as Instagram and social networks. Largest demographic group is women. They make 2/3 of Instagram users. So of all Instagram users, 2/3 are women, and 17% of teens say that Instagram is the most important social media site for them. Ever since Snapchat became popular, a lot of brands and business owners were trying to figure out how they should incorporate Snapchat into their marketing strategy so they could talk to and communicate with their younger audience, such as teens. But if you look at increased percentage of teens who are on Instagram, especially since Instagram introduced Insta Stories, I think it's free to say that more teens are interested and will become interested in Instagram than interested in Snapchat. Once again, a great demographic to reach through Instagram. So, to summarize, if your target audience is young, urban, and women, then you should definitely be on Instagram if you're not already. So, first thing, and my first tip for you, how to conquer Instagram as a social network is to make a great first impression. Just like in offline world, in online world, first impression really, really matters. And your target audience will reach you in a lot of different ways. For example, to some of them, Instagram will probably suggest your profile that they should follow based on likes and engaged content from before. Some of them will probably search you in Google or in the search bar on Instagram, and maybe some of you will discover you in the Explore box on the Instagram. So there's a lot of ways that they can discover your Instagram profile, but what really matters is once they get to your Instagram profile, what they are going to see. And if that profile looks like something that they want to follow, engage with, and every time when they open Instagram on their mobile phones, if they want to see this kind of content that you are posting. So you need to remember that your Instagram profile is not about you as a brand or as a business owner, it's about your target audience. Your content has to reflect what your audience desires, what their interests are, what they want to see. I understand that your goal is to sell and for that audience to buy your products or services, and that Instagram is just another channel for you to showcase everything that you're offering, but you can do it in a way, here's our product, buy it. That won't work. Instagram is not here for you to shove it up their throat. You need to do it in a prettier way because visual is everything on Instagram, and they want to look at pretty content, pretty pictures, pretty captions. So it's all about visual, and everything needs to look really pretty, really beautiful. You need to know who you're communicating with through your Instagram content. So if you don't know who your target audience is and what that kind of audience wants to see, then you don't really have a program. For example, let's say that your target audience are women who live in cities and lead really busy lives. You can't really post long captions on their photos because they don't have a lot of time to read that. They just want to see a pretty picture and maybe read some inspirational quote, and then they'll double tap to like your photo. So you need to know why they're here, and you need to think like they think. You need to think what they want to see and get out of their experience on Instagram. Second tip for making a good first impression is to have a great Instagram bio. Instagram bio is basically a description, short description at the top of your profile, and it needs to be three things. It needs to be informative, it needs to be engaging, and it needs to be fun. So you need to make them with that bio to follow you. You do need to give them information about what kind of brand you are and about what your business is, but don't do it completely flat and boring, such as this example. We are a shoe manufacturing company since 1980. I mean, sure, that gives away the informative part of the bio, who you are and what you're doing, but it's not engaging and it's not fun. Instead, how I would do it is, lovers of pretty and unique shoes, beware. We are here to make you fall in love with our shoes since 1980. Why this works better? It is informative because it gives away the information, what you do. You manufacture shoes, and it's engaging because it kind of lures you in to follow them, to see their shoes, what they're making, and you want to see, are you really going to fall in love with their shoes like they're claiming in their bio? And it's fun. I mean, don't you think that this is a lot more fun bio than the first one? The first one is just bleh. So, to summarize, you need to have informative bio, but you need to add value to it, and you need to speak directly to your audience. Like I said, first thing that you should do is to know your audience and what they want to see from your content, but also from your bio. So, how to achieve this engaging part? You need to make them follow you with call to action. For example, let's say that you are a restaurant owner and you are new in town and you want to get people to visit your restaurant. So local citizens, but also tourists who visit that particular city. And good bio would be making the best mouth-watering food in the city. If you follow us, you'll probably have a hard time staying on your diet. So why does that work? Again, it is informative because it says that they're a restaurant, obviously, because they make the best mouth-watering food in the city. It also has a call to action. If you follow us, you'll probably have a hard time staying on your diet. So it's engaging because you, again, want to follow them to see if their pictures and videos of food can actually make you visit them, or if you have trouble staying on your diet. And it's fun. So that's the third part. Make Instagram bio fun again. You don't need to think of Instagram as an official website. Official website is completely different. Obviously, you're a lot more professional and strict there. But on Instagram, you can have fun. You do engage with your followers, and you want to seem like you mean business, but also know how to have fun. So think out of the box. So after you have great bio and great profile picture and username that your target audience can easily find you, you need to post content that is relevant for your audience. Now, how to do that? Well, first of all, posting stock photos won't get you very far because sooner or later your target audience will realize what you're doing and that's not gonna work for them. It would be great if you could create your own content, so you can hire a photographer, or if you're creative, you can do it for yourself. And especially if you have products, if you are the business owner who is doing their own Instagram account, Instagram strategy, look for inspiration on Instagram, on Google, on Pinterest, on Tumblr, whatever you are. Don't copy what others are doing, but see what works. Once again, to see and know what works, you need to know your audience. You need to post quality content that your followers want to see, that they want to like, that they want to comment and engage with. Obviously, if you, for example, sell sunglasses, and obviously the picture where you just have a white background and black sunglasses won't work, as well as posting a picture where you can see a lady outside in the city enjoying life, and she also wears sunglasses and she looks good in them. Because the second picture says, oh, if I buy this kind of sunglasses, I can look like that, I can enjoy in life like she is. Well, the first picture says, these are our sunglasses, you can buy them here. Second example works better, and second example speaks directly to your audience, which is what you want. So you need to add value to your content. You need to create beautiful pictures, beautiful videos, beautiful Insta stories, so that they would think that it's appealing for them, they would get inspired by your content and ultimately buy or, I don't know, book whatever that you are selling or trying to achieve what your ultimate goal on Instagram is. So, once again, let's repeat, content is king, but that works on almost any social media these days. Content marketing has been a big thing in digital world for years now, but your content needs to have a theme. So to understand what a theme is, I'm going to show you a few examples, but first I'm going to explain to you. A theme is basically how you make your pictures that they look pretty in your feed. You can't just use any kind of filter that you like and use different filter on each photo. You need to have one way of editing your photos, your videos, your Insta stories. To some, this might seem flat, like just one editing style. It might seem boring, but actually that works a lot better than just putting any kind of filter and any kind of editing on different pictures. because then you can't scroll through your feed and it doesn't look like you're trying to tell a story with those pictures, those videos, basically your whole content. So you need to develop your own style of how pictures and content on Instagram is going to look. For example, we have here Instagram user Stella Maria Bear, and she's a painter and photographer, and she uses Instagram to showcase her works, such as her paintings, her photography, and also her daily life behind the scenes. And this is her theme. You can see that her theme are basically pink and pastel tones, and that she's showcasing on her work here, but also behind the scenes, such as she's painting something here and here. These are from her works, and also her everyday life, such as her baby, her dog, and everything works in sync, which is why she gained 175,000 followers. This is a great theme, and you really can't tell me that this is ugly feed, even if you don't like, for example, pink. But this is just in sync. This works well. So if you would go and scroll through her entire profile, you would see how much effort and time and energy she puts into her theme. Second one is a bit darker. This is from a photographer who is based in Finland, and of all those examples that I'm going to show you, he has the most followers. He has over 1 million followers. Some might think that it's because he's a photographer, so it's easy for him. He knows how to take a photo, so he just needs to post it on Instagram and he is going to get a lot of likes. It's not like that, because there are a lot of people out there who are not professional photographers, but they just know how to create a great theme, and that works well. For him, he uses dark tones and cool color scheme. So you can see that none of these photos are the same. For example, we have sheep here, we have rocks and sea, we have a fox, we have woods. So it's not like he constantly photographs the same thing. He photographs very different things, but they all look like they're in sync, like they should be here. His feed is very, very beautiful. And the third one is from a web shop called Bandu, and they're selling clothes and accessories, gifts, a lot of things. And they are quite different from the last example, because they use bright and bold colors, and they're communicating a fun and creative lifestyle. Once again, not even one of these pictures is same as the other, but once again, they look in sync. They look like they belong there. They should be where they are. That's why they have 492,000 followers. For example, what I get out of this theme is that if you buy their products, you too can have this life-loving, colorful lifestyle. All you have to do is buy their products. And this kind of feed would me, as a buyer, get me to go visit their website, check out what they have, and ultimately buy some of their products. So if they, for example, pictured just these sunglasses in front of a completely white background, I would be, that's boring, not. But here it works better, because these are sunglasses at the pool, and there's this can of, I don't know, some kind of soda, and this speaks to me more directly. Also, you can see here some of the badges that they're selling, and it's quite a lot. It maybe look messy, but again, it's fun. It's speaking to their audience. Their audience is probably younger, and I don't know, millennials, teens. Obviously, they're not targeting, for example, people in their 50s, but that's okay, because, like I mentioned, millennials are the biggest age group on Instagram. So I hope that these 3 examples helped you understand what a theme is, and that you kind of realize how this works. So you need to choose one editing style and then just stick to it. Not everything works for everyone. So maybe your brand is such that you can use only dark tones, like that last example was, or maybe you are selling something that can work well in these pastel tones, or you want to share your fun-loving, colorful lifestyle like this web shop does. You need to think and what your audience wants to see, what they would react the best, and how to achieve that. For example, I don't use just one app to edit my photos. I use two different apps, and then when I edited pictures in them, I just posted on Instagram. I don't use any kind of filtering from Instagram as an Instagram app. So you can search what works best for you. For example, I use an app called A Color Story, and I use a VSCO. They work well for me, but I know a lot of people who use different apps. So you'll just have to play around with them and see what works best for you. Like I said, you will get more engagement and more followers if you find a theme, and when someone comes to your profile and reads your fun, engaging, and informative bio, and then they see that you have a theme and that your theme actually tells a story of your brand. That works for any brand, any business. You just need to adjust it for your own. Fourth tip is hashtags. So a lot of you already know that hashtags became popular thanks to Twitter, but Instagram embraced it since day one, and I would say that a lot of people are overusing them on Instagram because their whole caption below photos consists of various hashtags. So they'll hashtag anything. For example, you can see on the picture just, I don't know, blue sky and clouds, but they've hashtagged food. Why is that? Why do you do that, people? Don't hashtag anything just so you could get likes, because those likes don't mean anything if they're from ghost likers. So ghost likers are those users who will come to your profile, like this one picture, but will never return again. You want customers, users, and followers who will continuously come to your profile, follow you, engage with you, and become your users, your customers, your buyers, whatever you're looking for on Instagram. So hashtags are symbols or codes that make web search engines understand and categorize pictures on Instagram, and you should absolutely, definitely use them, but don't go overboard. I don't know where, but I remember actually reading that in various places, that 11 is kind of the best number of hashtags that works, but you again need to do it for yourself, figure out what works best for you. The thing is that posts with at least one Instagram hashtag on average have 12.6% more engagement than posts without a hashtag. So unless you are Kim Kardashian or Taylor Swift, who have the most followers on Instagram, you need to post hashtags. Obviously, they don't, because they're already influential on Instagram. But if you are just a brand trying to reach more audience and get your community growing and get more following, then use hashtags. Let's say that you are a food-related profile. So if you post pictures with food, obviously you're going to tag food. So put hashtags related to that. You can even put hashtags in the explore bar on Instagram, and then you put hashtag and it tells you how many times has it been used. So if hashtags are used more, then there are greater chances that if you use that hashtag, that you'll get more engagement, because there's more people interested in this kind of hashtag. For example, food, selfie, love. Those are the kind of hashtags that are most used on Instagram. And you can use them, but again, if your picture is not a selfie, don't put a hashtag selfie just so you could get more likes, because people are going to realize what you're doing. Also, great tip, don't use a generic hashtag such as follow for follow or like for like. Those are the kind of hashtags that work well if you are a teenager who is competing with other teenagers who's going to get more likes on their selfie. But if you're a serious brand, don't just use this kind of hashtags so you could get more followers, and then you would make some kind of strategy. Go with a creative strategy from the beginning, so you don't have to use this generic spam-looking hashtags. And the last tip that I have for you is that you need to stay up to date. Ever since day one, Instagram changed a lot, and there are a lot of different things that you can do on Instagram now that weren't possible before. Like I mentioned in the beginning, in 2010 and 11, when I was there a rookie, you could only post square-looking photos, which obviously cropped a lot of things out of pictures. But obviously that changed. So now you can post photos, square-looking, horizontal, vertical, any kind of percentage of size. You can post videos. I think they can last 1 minute the most. You can put albums up to 10 pictures. You can post boomerangs, which are basically pictures, videos acting like GIFs. You can post Insta stories, and most important for digital marketers, Instagram ads, which weren't available before Facebook actually bought Instagram. So you need to play around with all these available features and test what works best for you and your brand. But like I mentioned before, don't copy what others are doing. Obviously, video works best and gets more engagement than just pictures or any other kind of content, because it goes a lot more in depth, I think, but also because Facebook is trying to steal a bit of audience from YouTube, so they're really pushing forward video as content on Facebook, but also on Instagram. With all that in mind and all that available features, you might seem like your head is spinning and you don't know what to do. It's quite a lot to take in. That's why you need to plan ahead and make weekly or monthly or even year content plan for your Instagram. At least make weekly, because if things change, as they do, change quite a lot on Instagram, then you can remove something, you can adjust, and it's just easier like that to have a strategy. For example, if you are, you're trying to sell dresses, so you can post one content idea. It would be to post a picture of that dress somewhere in the nature. Some woman is wearing it. She's playing around. Blah blah blah. And then the next, you don't have to post picture. For example, you can post video. She's running through the fields. She's happy. She's acting like Heidi. I don't know. And then third can be, for example, boomerang, and she's spinning around, and people can see how this dress looks in full size, and she's happy. She's satisfied with the purchase she made. And from all of that, people who are following you will maybe think, oh, okay, this is a pretty dress. I can wear it like this. I can wear it like that. They've showed me various styles, and I think I'm going to check out their website to see if I can buy it for myself. So treat your Instagram feed like an extension of your brand, and you'll see the results. You won't see any kind of results if you just think of Instagram, oh, it's another social media that I have to be on because it's currently popular. I already have Facebook, but everyone's on Instagram, so I have to be as well. You don't have to, but if you want good brand awareness, it would be a good idea to be there, but also to actually give attention to that social media channel to do it correctly. And those are the 5 tips that I have for you. So if you have any questions for me, you can ask them now. And I'll try to answer them. Like I said, I'm not an expert, but shoot, people. Okay, so the first question is, what is the limit of being funny? I mean, will they go away if you make fun too much? You don't need to be comedian. You don't have to be over. You don't have to go overboard with that. Don't go overboard with anything. But you don't want to seem like you are irresponsible. But you do need to add a bit of fun. So try to find the golden middle, like I would say. It's not going to work for any kind of brand. For example, if you are trying to sell, I don't know, cars, for example, I don't think that Ferrari as a brand needs to be too fun and too comic on their Instagram, because people aren't really there for that. But for example, if you are trying to sell furniture, you can add a bit of fun because you're trying to create a lifestyle. And as like such, you can add. You don't have to add something funny to each caption on your photos or in your videos, but from time to time you can, because you do want to seem like you're the kind of brand that cares about people, but or also you want to add that human side to your brand, that they have a feeling like there's actually a person doing that Instagram account and not just some board who thought of this marketing strategy and they just want to get money out of all of that. I hope that answers your question. So second one is it better to put our messages on photo or is it better to put it in description? In my opinion, it's better to put it in description. Like I said, pictures, videos, basically visual content is most important for people who are on Instagram because they are there to look at pretty pictures. But they do read captions, they're secondary, but they are important. And you can put a lot of, I think there's 5,000 characters that you can put in your caption. So everything that interests you, you can put there and tell them what are specifics of the thing that you are showing on your photo. What, for example, if you are, I don't know, if you've posted a picture of a food, you can put a recipe below. Possibilities are basically endless, but it's definitely better to use caption to put text there. But if you're using, for example, Insta stories, then you obviously it's better to put a bit of text on the photo. It works well, like it works better that way. But if you put text on pictures when that you're posting in your feed, then you're going to lose a lot of place on that photo. So it's better to post a pretty picture, and a picture says 1,000 words. So just wider that story that you're telling through your picture in your caption. And that is it. No one else? Okay, then that would be it. I hope that you've enjoyed. If any of you couldn't watch till the end, this webinar is going to be posted on our YouTube channel, so you can watch it later. Or if you want to take notes from everything that I've said, like I said, you can watch it later there and put down everything that I've mentioned. Feel free to let me know if you've decided to incorporate these tips into your Instagram strategy and if they worked. If they haven't, I would love to hear your thoughts why they haven't. And if they did, then good for you. And that's it. Goodbye.